The crystal chandelier at the engagement banquet shimmered so brightly it made one's head spin. Lin Zhixia stared deathly at the spiked red wine, her fingertips turning white from the force of her grip. In her previous life, it was this very glass of wine that caused her to lose her mind and engage in a public brawl with Gu Chengyuan. That incident earned her the reputation of a jealous shrew and led to her being cast out of the family. Now, the culprit, the youngest daughter of the Gu family, Gu Wan, was walking toward her with a wine glass, wearing a look of total innocence. "Sister-in-law, this is a Romani Conti from my father's private collection. You must try it," Gu Wan said, her voice sugary sweet while her eyes remained as cold and predatory as a venomous snake. Lin Zhixia took a deep breath, her stomach churning with the phantom pain of her fatal fall in her previous life. On that day, during a similar gathering, Gu Wan had clung to Gu Chengyuan like a koala in front of everyone, even trying to feed him. When Zhixia finally snapped and struck out, she was accused of being the aggressor and ended up falling from a high platform along with Gu Wan. She never wanted to experience that bone-shattering pain a second time. "No thanks, I'm allergic to alcohol," Lin Zhixia said coldly, turning her head away. Her gaze cut through the noisy crowd and landed on a quiet figure sitting in the corner. +1, that was Gu Chenze, the eldest son of the Gu family and Gu Chengyuan's twin brother. In her previous life, because he was blind and possessed a somber personality, everyone assumed he would grow old alone. Following the crowd, Lin Zhixia had chosen the seemingly brilliant and noble younger brother, Gu Chengyuan. It wasn't until the moment of her death that she realized the true abyss lay beneath that polished exterior, while true protection had been sitting silently in the shadows all along. "Zhixia, stop throwing a tantrum," Gu Chengyuan said, appearing out of nowhere. He reached out naturally to put an arm around her shoulder, yet his eyes lingered hungrily on Gu Wan. Wan is just being kind. How ironic. At their engagement banquet, the fiancé and the sister-in-law were shamelessly flirting. Lin Zhixia took a sharp step back, dodging Gu Chengyuan's hand. She looked around. The Gu parents were watching this harmonious scene with expectant faces, seemingly certain she wouldn't dare make a scene. "In that case, let's end this farce early." "Dad, Mom," Lin Zhixia suddenly raised her voice, her clear tone piercing through the noise of the banquet hall. Everyone fell silent. Lin Zhixia walked up to the patriarch of the Gu family and, without a hint of hesitation, pointed toward the silent man in the corner. "I'm not choosing Gu Chengyuan." Gu Wan froze, then chuckled behind her hand. "Sister-in-law, have you had too much to drink? Your man is right here, why are you pointing over there?" "I said, I'm not choosing him." Lin Zhixia turned around, her eyes burning as she stared at Gu Chengyuan's shocked face. "The person I choose is Gu Chenze." The room erupted into an uproar. Gu Chengyuan's face instantly turned the color of pig liver. "Lin Zhixia, have you lost your mind? My brother is blind. What do you want with him? Do you want him because he won't be able to see you hooking up with other men?" Chengyuan, Gu's father, barked a reprimand, though his own expression was extremely grim. "What is the meaning of this?" "Zhixia, marriage is not child's play." Lin Zhixia gave a cold laugh and walked step by step toward Gu Chenze. The man sat in a wheelchair. Though he could not see, his back was ramrod straight, and he exuded a faint scent of cedarwood. He tilted his head slightly, seemingly listening to the commotion around him. His thin lips parted. "Zhixia, don't joke like that. You don't have to pick me just to reject him." His voice was deep and magnetic, carrying a trace of imperceptible self-deprecation. Lin Zhixia knelt before him, ignoring the bizarre looks from the crowd, and gently took his cool hand. At the touch of her palm, Gu Chenze visibly stiffened. "I'm not joking." Lin Zhixia looked up, her gaze intense as she stared into those eyes that lacked focus. "Gu Chenze, I am willing to marry you, and I am confident I can cure your eyes." Gu Chengyuan rushed over, exasperated. "Lin Zhixia, don't think for a second that I'll be moved by this. You're just doing this to get back at me, aren't you?" "Get back at you?" Lin Zhixia stood up, smoothed her skirt, and let a cruel smile play on her lips. "This isn't revenge, it's cutting my losses." "Gu Chengyuan, from now on, don't let the filth between you and Gu Wan touch me ever again." She turned to Gu Wan, whose face was ashen, with a gaze as cold as ice. "And you, since you love clinging to your brother so much, take good care of your actual brother from now on. Stop going around claiming other people's relatives." Gu Wan turned pale, looking at Lin Zhixia and then at Gu Chengyuan in disbelief, as if pleading for help. "Butler," Gu Chenze suddenly spoke, his voice terrifyingly calm. "See the guests out. Today's engagement banquet ends here. As for the dowry, return it to the Lin family in full." He gripped Lin Zhixia's hand back with surprising strength, his thumb brushing against the back of her hand as if confirming her presence. "Zhixia," he said, slowly standing up before the entire crowd. Though his frame swayed slightly, he remained as upright as a pine tree. Since you've chosen me, be prepared. The waters of the Gu family run deep. Once you've jumped in, don't expect to get back to shore easily. Lin Zhixia squeezed his hand back, their palms pressed together, the heat of their skin conveying a silent vow. In this life, she wasn't just going to survive, she was going to make those who hurt her wish they were dead. I'm ready, she whispered, the flames of revenge igniting in her eyes. Let's go home. Amidst Gu Chengyuan's furious roars behind them, Lin Zhixia took Gu Chenze's arm and walked out of the banquet hall with her head held high. She had taken the first, most crucial step toward her revenge. At that moment, the corners of Gu Chenze's mouth curled up in an almost imperceptible smile. Chapter 2, Accomplices in the Dark. The night was as black as ink, and the rain fell in torrents. Amidst the rolling thunder, Lin Zhixia was settled into a side courtyard in the deepest part of the Gu estate. Far from the noise of the main building, the only sound was the patter of rain against banana leaves, making the place feel exceptionally lonely. She changed out of her complex gown into a plain white silk nightdress, her bare feet stepping onto the cold floor. Although it was technically their wedding night, Gu Chenze did not stay. After the servants left, he simply used his black blind cane to find his way into the adjacent study in silence. Lin Zhixia knew he wasn't asleep. That man might be blind, but his senses were terrifyingly sharp. Earlier in the car, her breathing had only hitched slightly, and he had accurately grabbed her wrist, whispering, "Regretting it?" She had no regrets, but she had to take the initiative. Lin Zhixia took a deep breath and pushed open the door to the study. The room was lit only by a single dim floor lamp. Gu Chenze sat behind a wide mahogany desk, his hands tracing a thick ledger. He hadn't turned on the lights, appearing accustomed to the dark, or perhaps using it as a shield. "Not asleep yet?" Gu Chenze asked without looking up. His voice was indifferent, but his fingers paused on a specific page of the ledger. "I can't sleep." Lin Zhixia walked to the desk, her eyes scanning the ledger in his hands. Despite the distance, her sharp eyes caught the words printed on the cover, Gu Real Estate Internal Secret, and the page numbers seemed to be out of order. Gu Chengyuan and Gu Wan were so affectionate tonight, I was afraid they might climb the walls at midnight to crash the wedding suite. Lin Zhixia joked, though she leaned forward slightly to try and see the numbers on the ledger. Gu Chenze gave a short laugh, closed the ledger, and tapped the cover twice with his long fingers. "They don't have the guts. You humiliated them in public tonight." The old man is angry, but for the sake of appearances, he won't let things blow up just yet. He stood up, his cane clicking sharply against the floor. He walked straight to the door and locked it. The action was both defensive and carried a certain hidden invitation. "Lin Zhixia," he said with his back to her, his voice dropping low. "Let's make a deal." Lin Zhixia's heart skipped a beat. What kind of deal? Gu Chenze turned around, his lifeless eyes staring directly at her as if he could see the secrets buried in her soul. "I know you don't like Gu Chengyuan, but I don't believe you'd throw your life away on a blind man just because you hate the younger brother." He approached her step by step, the cold scent of cedarwood surrounding her. "You chose me for a deeper reason. For instance, what do you know?" Lin Zhixia forced herself to stand her ground. Here it was. This man was certainly not as submissive as he appeared on the surface. "I know that Gu Group's cash flow has actually dried up," Lin Zhixia said suddenly, her voice cool. "Last month, Gu Chengyuan embezzled 300 million in public funds to cover his gambling debts in Macau, didn't he?" Gu Chenze's footsteps came to a dead halt. The air seemed to freeze. After a long silence, the corner of Gu Chenze's mouth curled into a playful arc. "How did you find out?" "Those books were handled perfectly. Even the auditors didn't catch it." "Because I saw it." Lin Zhixia walked to the desk, her finger brushing over the ledger he had just been reading. "The page you were on just now, was it page 37? There's an entry for landscape maintenance fees for 35 million. But as far as I know, the Gu Group didn't have any landscape projects this year." The surprise in Gu Chenze's eyes was fleeting, replaced by the excitement of a hunter spotting its own kind. "Go on. That money is fake. It's a smokescreen to cover the 300 million hole." Lin Zhixia turned to face him directly. "But there's a fatal flaw in this fake entry. The registered address of the receiving company is a shell company under Gu Chengyuan's mistress. If you follow that address, you can find the whole trail." Gu Chenze was silent for a moment before suddenly raising his hand. Lin Zhixia instinctively held her breath, wondering what he was about to do. However, he only took off his sunglasses. Those eyes, though lacking focus, were as deep as the ocean and hid a turbulent storm. "You know," he said softly, "I always thought only darkness accompanied me. I didn't expect to find someone who could see through it." He picked up his cane, but instead of using it to find his way, he used the metal tip to tap a strange rhythm on the floor. Tap, 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 tap. It was Morse code. Though Lin Zhixia didn't understand the code, she could sense the danger in it. That ledger, Chenze pointed to the table, is the flaw you mentioned. But I've been looking for a long time and couldn't find the actual controller of that shell company. Chengyuan is cunning. He used layer upon layer of white gloves, strawmen. Lin Zhixia stepped closer and whispered. But I can help you find that person. In exchange, however, I want you to do something for me. Speak. I want Gu Wan ruined, and I want Chengyuan in prison. Lin Zhixia's voice carried a bone-chilling coldness. And, I want the family seal of the Gu family. Chenze laughed. It was the first time Lin Zhixia had seen him smile. Though cold, it possessed a breathtaking beauty. Quite an appetite. He put his sunglasses back on, hiding the storm in his eyes. But I like it. Since we are grasshoppers on the same string. He reached out his hand, palm up. Then let's shake on it, my accomplice. Lin Zhixia shook his hand without hesitation. At the contact of their palms, a searing heat flowed between them. Outside, the thunderstorm grew more violent, but inside this small study, a flame was lit that could burn away all hypocrisy. Lin Zhixia knew that from this moment on, the true curtain for revenge had been drawn back. And this time, she was no longer the prey to be slaughtered, but a hunter standing side by side with the King of Darkness. Tomorrow, Lin Zhixia released his hand and turned toward the door. I will use my status as the lady of the house to propose a re-audit of the family foundation. Chengyuan will definitely panic. Very well. Chenze sat back in his chair, fingers tapping the desk. I'll have my private lawyer coordinate with you. Also, Zhixia. Yes? Next time you enter the study, remember to knock. A slight smile touched his lips. Even though I know it's you, etiquette is still necessary. After all, we are husband and wife now. Lin Zhixia's face flushed slightly as she pushed the door and left. The night was deep, but her heart had never been brighter. In this game, she and the blind Chenze were destined to win. Chapter 3, Confrontation in the Morning Light. The morning light filtered through the carved window frames and spilled into the dining room. Yet it could not dispel the frozen chill in the air. Breakfast in the Gu household was always a war without gunpowder. At the long mahogany table, the elderly Master Gu sat at the head with a somber expression. Chengyuan and Gu Wan sat on the left. Though they tried to maintain their distance, the silent understanding between them was impossible to hide. Meanwhile, Lin Zhixia and Chenze sat on the right, looking like a pair of lone geese that had stumbled into a wolf pack. Lin Zhixia wore a well-tailored champagne-colored morning gown. Her hair swept up to reveal her elegant neck. She cut her steak with grace, as if the woman who had plotted with Chenze in the dark the previous night was merely an illusion. Grandpa, Lin Zhixia set down her cutlery and used a tissue to lightly dab the corners of her mouth, her voice crisp as broken jade. Since I have married into the Gu family, as a new bride, I wish to do something for the family. Master Gu looked up, his clouded eyes filled with scrutiny. Oh, what do you want to do? I would like to propose a comprehensive audit of the family fund, Lin Zhixia said with a smile, her gaze sweeping over Chengyuan. There have been many rumors about the Gu group lately. To set the record straight and for the long-term development of the family, I believe it is necessary to clean up the internal accounts. As soon as she spoke, the coffee cup in Chengyuan's hand slammed onto the saucer with a piercing clatter. An audit? Do you even know what an audit is? Chengyuan sneered, his eyes like blades scraping across her face. Are you afraid your dowry isn't enough and want to dig through the books to find more? Lin Zhixia remained unruffled, stating calmly, brother-in-law, speak with a conscience. I married in with sincerity, unlike some people who only know how to pull petty tricks behind everyone's back. You. Chengyuan bolted upright, his chair screeching against the floor. Sit down, the long silent Master Gu commanded, his voice soft yet carrying unquestionable authority. Chengyuan gritted his teeth and sat down begrudgingly, though the fire in his eyes looked ready to erupt. Chenze, what do you think? Master Gu turned to Chenze, who had been quietly eating his porridge. Chenze set down his spoon and wiped his mouth with a napkin. He wore his signature sunglasses, masking any emotion, but his blind cane moved slightly at that moment. Tap, tap. Two soft sounds, the rhythm steady and firm. It was the same rhythm Lin Zhixia had heard last night, signifying support. Grandpa, Chenze began, his voice as warm as jade. Zhixia has a point. The family is large, and it's inevitable for there to be oversights in the accounts. An audit will quiet the gossip. After all. He paused, a faint arc touching the corner of his mouth. Some accounts truly are due for a cleaning. Chengyuan's face turned deathly pale. He knew that the accounts Chenze referred to were the 300 million he had embezzled. Big brother, what do you mean by that? Chengyuan forced out. You can't see, Don't let others use you as a weapon. My eyes may be blind, but my heart is not. Chenze stood up slowly, his cane tapping the ground as he walked toward Chengyuan step by step. Each step seemed to land right on Chengyuan's heartstrings. The audit is settled, Chenze said as he stood before Chengyuan. Though he was half a head shorter, his aura was so suffocating the other man could hardly breathe. I will have my private lawyer take full responsibility. Chengyuan, you won't have an objection, will you? Chengyuan gripped the edge of the table so hard his knuckles turned white. He knew he had been checkmated. If he refused, he looked guilty. If he agreed, the rotten debt would eventually be found. I have no objection, Chengyuan squeezed out through gritted teeth. As long as you don't regret it, brother. Regret? Chenze gave a light laugh and walked back to his seat. I never regret. He sat down and tapped his cane. Tap, tap, tap. It was the rhythm of victory. Watching his profile, Lin Zhixia felt a strange throb in her heart. This man was even more formidable than she had imagined. Fine, let's eat. Master Gu waved his hand, clearly finished with the discussion. The audit will proceed as Chenze said. Breakfast ended in an eerie silence. Chengyuan and Wan practically fled the room. As Lin Zhixia rose to leave, Chenze called out to her. Zhixia, he stood by the window, the sunlight spilling over him but unable to reach his eyes. Walk with me. Lin Zhixia went to his side and took his arm. They walked through the long corridor together and entered the back garden. In the morning garden, dew rolled off the petals, crystal clear. Thank you for earlier, Lin Zhixia said softly. Don't thank me. Chenze stopped and turned. Though he couldn't see her, his gaze landed precisely on her face. We are accomplices, aren't we? Yes, Lin Zhixia nodded. Since we are accomplices, we must have the resolve of accomplices. Chenze raised his hand, his fingertips touching her cheek with a gentleness as if he were feeling fragile porcelain. The scenes to follow will be even more exciting. Are you ready? Lin Zhixia held his hand and said firmly, I'm ready. Good. Chenze withdrew his hand and turned toward the depths of the garden. Let's go. Our lawyer is already waiting. Today, we will dig out the root of those rotten accounts completely. Lin Zhixia tightened her grip on his arm as they walked together. The sun stretched their shadows long, interweaving them like two ghosts fighting side by side in the dark. Beneath this seemingly peaceful morning light, a storm capable of toppling the Gu family was quietly brewing. Chapter 4, The Lawyer's Black Box. The atmosphere in the garden gazebo was so heavy it felt as if it could drip water. Chenze's private lawyer, a serious, middle-aged man wearing gold-rimmed glasses, placed an encrypted laptop on the stone table. He opened it and inserted a black hard drive. Rows of complex code immediately jumped onto the screen. Mr. Gu, Miss Lin, the lawyer pushed up his glasses and lowered his voice. These are the overseas account statements you asked me to track. The source is a bit tricky. Get straight to the result, Chenze said, his fingers tapping the armrest of his rattan chair in a steady rhythm. The lawyer nodded and pulled up a document. There is an offshore account under Chengyuan's name. In the last 3 months, there have been large fund movements. One transfer of 35 million was noted as hush money. Lin Zhixia's heart sank. Hush money, she repeated, her voice tightening. Yes. The lawyer clicked on the transfer details. The recipient is a shell company in the Cayman Islands, but through fund tracking, the actual recipient is. He paused, weighing his words. Who is it? Lin Zhixia pressed, her hand unconsciously gripping her skirt. The lawyer took a deep breath and gave a name, Chen, also known as. I know who he is. Lin Zhixia's voice turned icy, the words forced through her teeth. Chen, the private investigator who had destroyed her in her previous life. The man who, when she was framed by Chengyuan and mentally breaking down, forged a psychiatric diagnosis to send her to a mental asylum. The man who, while she desperately gripped the bars crying that she wasn't mad, coldly injected her with a sedative. The man who, after her final accidental fall to her death, took Chengyuan's final payment and vanished without a trace. Lin Zhixia's breathing became rapid. Before her eyes, she saw that dark ward again, that man's indifferent gaze, and that cold syringe. Zhixia? Chenze sensed her distress. His cane tapped twice in a concerned rhythm. What's wrong? Lin Zhixia took a deep breath, forcing herself out of the quagmire of memory. Chen, she began, her voice carrying a faint, uncontrollable tremor. He is Chengyuan's dog. In the previous life, he helped Chengyuan forge evidence to send me to the asylum, and finally. She didn't continue, but Chenze understood. In the end, he killed you. His voice was terrifyingly low, his knuckles white as he gripped the armrest. No, he helped Chengyuan make me commit suicide. Lin Zhixia gave a cold laugh, the fires of revenge burning in her eyes. I planned to settle this debt slowly, but I didn't expect him to deliver himself to my door. The lawyer was clearly stunned by this information, but he quickly regained his professional composure. Miss Lin and Mr. Gu, the timing of this hush money is interesting. It was the day before that is, Miss Lin's suicide. Meaning, Gu Chenze stood up slowly, his cane thudding heavily against the ground. Gu Chengyuan was afraid of being exposed and wanted to use money to shut this Chen-mo up? No, quite the opposite. Lin Zhixia shook her head. If it was just to shut him up, why not kill him? Giving him money means Chen-mo still has something even more lethal on Gu Chengyuan. Or rather, she lowered her voice, Chen-mo has evidence of Gu Chengyuan committing murder. The air seemed to solidify. After a long silence, Gu Chenze spoke with a playful edge to his voice. Interesting. It seems our dear younger brother is not just greedy, but a murderer who silences witnesses. The question now, the lawyer interrupted, is how do we use this evidence? Expose it directly? No, Lin Zhixia shook her head. That's too easy on him. We will let him walk into a trap step by step, let him think he's in control, and then give him the fatal blow when he's most proud. She looked at Gu Chenze firmly. I want to see Chen-mo. See him? Gu Chenze's brow furrowed. He is likely under Gu Chengyuan's control by now. No, he's smart, Lin Zhixia countered coldly. Having taken that money, he would have hidden. And if he has evidence of murder, he must have prepared an exit strategy. He won't just sit and wait for death. What do you plan to do? I'll lure him out, she said with a glint of cunning in her eyes. Since Gu Chengyuan is afraid of him, he will keep looking for him. We just need to wait for the rabbit to appear to find Chen-mo. Gu Chenze was silent for a moment, then he smiled. Fine, I will have my people coordinate with you. But Zhixia, he held out his hand, palm up. Be careful this time. Lin Zhixia took his hand without hesitation. Don't worry, she said with a smile. I won't let anyone hurt me again this time. The lawyer packed up and left. Only Lin Zhixia and Gu Chenze remained in the gazebo as sunlight filtered through the leaves in dappled patches. Gu Chenze, Lin Zhixia said suddenly. Thank you. For what? For believing me. Gu Chenze was quiet for a while, then said softly, in this world, darkness is my friend, and you are my eyes. Lin Zhixia's heart trembled. Looking at this blind man, she felt that perhaps this road to revenge would not be so lonely. Let's go, Gu Chenze said as he turned toward the garden exit. Our play has only just begun. Lin Zhixia took his arm and they walked deeper into the garden. Meanwhile, in a corner of the city, a man named Chen-mo turned pale as he looked at an anonymous text on his phone. It read, I know you have evidence of Gu Chengyuan's murders. If you want to live, come find me. The sender's name was someone he thought was dead, Lin Zhixia. Chapter 5, Fugitive in the Rainy Night. The rain poured down in torrents amid crashing thunder. An abandoned steel factory crouched like a giant beast on the edge of the city, its rusty frames casting menacing shadows under the lightning. Chen-mo hid behind a discarded stamping machine, soaked and breathing hard. A deep wound on his left arm dripped blood that mingled with rainwater into a dark red pool. Damn it, he hissed, pulling a blood-stained USB drive from his chest pocket. This was the evidence he had traded his life for, the ironclad proof of Gu Chengyuan's murders. His phone vibrated with a reply to that anonymous text. Coordinates locked. Hold on, we'll be there in 10 minutes. Chen-mo gave a bitter laugh. 10 minutes? The people after him wouldn't even give him one. Over there. A shout pierced the rain. Chen-mo looked up to see shadows with flashlights closing in from the factory entrances. They wore black raincoats and carried pipes and machetes. They were Gu Chengyuan's private bodyguards, his assassins. Chen-mo, hand it over and we'll leave your body intact, the leader sneered. Chen-mo stood his ground against the cold machinery. In your dreams, he roared hoarsely. Gu Chengyuan has killed so many people. He's not getting off easy. Have it your way then? The leader waved, and the shadows closed in. Chen-mo grabbed an iron pipe and smashed it into a nearby electrical box. Sparks flew, and the entire factory plunged into darkness. Shouts of "Kill him" rang out in the dark. Chen-mo fought back with the pipe by instinct, but his injury and exhaustion soon left him cornered. With a dull thud, his pipe was knocked away and he was kicked to the ground, the pain in his chest making it impossible to breathe. Where is it? The leader stepped on his chest, a cold blade pressed to his throat. Waiting for you, in hell. Chen-mo wheezed, blood trickling from his mouth. Die. The blade was raised high. Suddenly, a blinding pair of headlights pierced the rain and factory. A screech of brakes tore through the silence of the rainy night. A black Land Rover SUV roared in and stopped right in front of Chen-mo. Two bodyguards in black trench coats jumped out with stun batons, forming a defensive line. You dare touch Master Gu's person? An icy voice cut through the storm. The leader paled. Gu Chenze? In the back seat, the window rolled down. Gu Chenze sat in the shadows, sunglasses on, playing with his cane. Though he couldn't see, his aura was more terrifying than the storm. "Take him away," he said simply. His bodyguards surged forward to engage the assassins. From the passenger seat, Lin Zhixia watched intently as Chengyuan scrambled up, clutching the USB drive, and stumbled toward the car. "Quick, get in!" She rolled down her window and reached for him. Just as hope flared in Chengyuan's eyes, a gunshot rang out. His body jerked, and he collapsed into the mud. Lin Zhixia cried out his name. Chengyuan looked toward the second floor, where a shadow withdrew a pistol and vanished. It's Chengyuan," Chengyuan gasped, shoving the bloodied USB into Lin Zhixia's hand. "The evidence is all inside." His hand went limp, and he died in the mud. Lin Zhixia's eyes reddened. Though he had harmed her before, he had died protecting the evidence. "Get in," Chenze's voice came, calm to the point of coldness. "The police will be here soon. We can't leave any traces." Lin Zhixia gritted her teeth, gripped the drive, and closed the window. The Land Rover sped away through the mud. The atmosphere in the car was suffocating. "He's dead," Lin Zhixia whispered. "To protect this, he knew he wouldn't live," Chenze replied, tapping his cane. "He chose death to buy your trust." "Chengyuan," Lin Zhixia hissed. "He actually dared to kill a witness." He panicked. Chenze sneered. "With that evidence in our hands, he's finished." He held out his hand. "Let me feel that USB." Lin Zhixia placed it in his hand. He felt the surface as if he could sense the blood and heat on it. "The blood on this," he said softly, "will be the final straw that sends him to prison." Next, Lin Zhixia took a deep breath, revenge burning in her eyes. "It's time for us to strike back." Indeed, Chenze put the drive away. This rainy night game is over. The car sped toward the city lights. Behind them, sirens finally wailed at the factory. Chengyuan's body lay in the mud as a silent accusation against the killer in the dark. The storm of revenge was just beginning to sweep through the Gu family. Chapter 6, The Eye of the Storm. The interior of the Land Rover was silent, save for the rhythmic clicking of the windshield wipers clearing away the heavy rain. Lin Zhixia stared at the blood-stained USB drive in her palm. The metallic scent of copper filled her nostrils, a grim reminder of the price paid for this small piece of plastic. Chenze sat beside her, his face a mask of cold indifference, but his hand, resting on his knee, was clenched into a tight fist. "We can't go back to the Gu villa," Lin Zhixia said suddenly, her voice steadying. "If Chengyuan was there tonight, he knows we have it. He'll be waiting." "He won't just be waiting," Chenze replied, his voice low and raspy. "He'll be desperate. A cornered beast is the most dangerous. But he's forgotten one thing. This is my car, and my driver knows exactly where to go." The car didn't head toward the suburban estate of the Gu family. Instead, it veered into a high-end, heavily guarded apartment complex in the heart of the city. "This is my private residence," Chenze explained as the car pulled into a private garage. "No one in the Gu family knows about this place, not even the old man." As they stepped into the elevator, the adrenaline began to fade, leaving Lin Zhixia trembling. The realization of what had just happened, a man dying in front of her, a gunshot in the dark, hit her like a physical blow. Once inside the apartment, Chenze moved with surprising fluidity. He didn't need his cane here. He knew every inch of this space. He walked to a cabinet, poured a glass of amber liquid, and handed it to her. "Drink. It's brandy." "You're in shock." Lin Zhixia took the glass, her fingers brushing his. His skin was unnervingly warm compared to the freezing rain outside. She took a sip, the burn in her throat grounding her. "We need to see what's on that drive," she said, setting the glass down and pulling out her laptop. She plugged in the USB. After bypassing several layers of encryption, luckily, Chengyuan had used a code she remembered from her previous life's legal battles. The files sprang to life. Her breath hitched. It wasn't just financial records. There were dashcam footages, voice recordings, and photos. One folder was labeled, The 7.12 Incident. Lin Zhixia opened it. It was a video. The timestamp matched the night Chenze lost his sight in a car accident 3 years ago. The footage showed a dark mountain road. A black sedan, Chenze's, was being tailgated by a silver sports car. The sports car deliberately rammed the sedan's rear, sending it spinning toward the cliffside. The sports car stopped, and a man stepped out. Even through the grainy rain of the footage, the silhouette was unmistakable. It was Chengyuan. He didn't call for help. He watched the car hang over the edge, laughed, and drove away. "Chenze," Lin Zhixia whispered, her voice breaking. "It wasn't an accident. He tried to kill you. He's the reason you." She looked at Chenze. He was standing by the floor-to-ceiling window, looking out at the city lights he couldn't see. He didn't look surprised. "I knew," he said softly. Lin Zhixia froze. "You knew? All this time?" "I couldn't prove it." Chenze turned around, his sightless eyes reflecting the blue light of the laptop screen. I didn't have the eyes to see it, and I didn't have the evidence to convince my grandfather. To the world, I was just a broken, blind man, and Chengyuan was the golden heir. He walked toward her, his footsteps heavy. But now, I have you. And you have the evidence. Suddenly, Lin Zhixia's phone buzzed. It was a video call request from an unknown number. She looked at Gu Chenze, who nodded. She swiped to answer. Gu Chengyuan's face appeared on the screen. He was back at the Gu villa, sitting in the grand library, swirling a glass of wine. He looked manic, his hair disheveled. Zhixia, my dear sister-in-law, he sneered. I saw your little rescue mission tonight. Truly touching. But did you really think you could just walk away with my property? It's not property, Chengyuan. It's a death warrant, Lin Zhixia said, her voice dripping with venom. Is it? Look behind me. Gu Chengyuan moved the camera. Tied to a chair in the background, gagged and weeping, was Lin Zhixia's younger sister from the Lin family. You have 1 hour, Gu Chengyuan said, his smile widening into something demonic. Bring the drive to the old pier. Come alone, or your sister becomes the next unfortunate accident in this family. The screen went black. Lin Zhixia felt the world tilt. My sister, he has her. He's panicking, Gu Chenze said, his voice dropping to a terrifyingly calm register. He's making his final move. He reached out, finding Lin Zhixia's hand and squeezing it firmly. Let him think he's the hunter, Gu Chenze whispered. But tonight, we're going to show him what happens when the shadows decide to strike back. He picked up his phone and dialed a number. Assemble the team. We're going to the pier. And call the chief of police. Tell him I have the gift I promised him 3 years ago. Lin Zhixia looked at the blind man standing before her. He wasn't just a victim anymore. He was the executioner. Let's go, she said, her fear hardening into a diamond-sharp resolve. Let's end this. Chapter 7, The Final Gambit. The old pier was a skeletal remains of rusted cranes and rotting timber, jutting out into the churning black waters of the harbor like a broken finger. Rain lashed against the windshield of the Land Rover as it rolled to a stop 50 yards from the warehouse entrance. Stay here, Gu Chenze said, his hand finding Lin Zhixia's arm. His grip was steady, but the heat of his skin betrayed his intensity. No, Lin Zhixia replied, placing her hand over his. He wants me. If I don't go in, your men won't have enough time to flank him without him spotting them. I'm the bait, Chenze. But this time, the bait has teeth. Gu Chenze was silent for a heartbeat. Then, he reached into his coat and pulled out a small, sleek device. It's a high-frequency jammer. If things go south, press the side button. It will scramble every electronic signal in a 50-meter radius, cameras, phones, even the electronic locks on those warehouse doors. It'll give my team the 3-second window they need. Lin Zhixia took the device, tucked the USB drive into her inner pocket, and stepped out into the storm. The warehouse smelled of salt, oil, and impending death. At the far end, under a single flickering industrial light, Gu Chengyuan sat on a crate. Next to him, Lin Zhixia's sister, Lin Yu, was slumped in a chair, her eyes wide with terror behind the duct tape over her mouth. You're late, Zhixia, Gu Chengyuan called out, his voice echoing off the corrugated metal walls. He held a small remote in his hand, a detonator wired to the base of Yu's chair. The drive. Toss it. Lin Zhixia walked forward, her heels clicking rhythmically on the concrete. Tap, tap, tap. She mimicked the rhythm Gu Chenze used with his cane, a signal of defiance. Let her go first, Chengyuan. You have the upper hand. If I give you the drive now, what's to stop you from blowing us both up? Gu Chengyuan laughed, a jagged, broken sound. You think I care about fair? I've spent my whole life in Chenze's shadow, the spare, the second best. Even when he went blind, Grandpa still looked at him like he was the crown prince. I've earned this kingdom with blood, and I'm not letting a reborn ghost like you take it away. You didn't earn it, Lin Zhixia countered, stopping 10 feet away. You stole it. You tried to kill your own brother. You killed Chen Mo. How many more bodies, Chengyuan? How many before the guilt chokes you? Guilt is for the weak. He lunged forward, snatching the drive from her hand as she held it out. He plugged it into a handheld tablet, his eyes scanning the files with manic intensity. Yes, yes. Delete, delete all. As his thumb hovered over the final format button, Lin Zhixia saw the shadow move behind him. It was Gu Chenze. He wasn't using his cane. He was moving with a predatory grace, guided by the earpiece in his ear that was receiving a live feed from the thermal drones hovering outside. He looked like a phantom rising from the dark. It's too late, Chengyuan, a deep voice boomed through the warehouse. Gu Chengyuan spun around, nearly dropping the tablet. Chenze, how are you here? You're blind. You can't see me. I don't need to see you to know where you are, Gu Chenze said, stepping into the light. He wore no sunglasses now. His eyes were cold and vacant, yet they seemed to stare straight through his brother's soul. I can smell the fear on you. I can hear your shallow, cowardly heartbeat. Don't come any closer. Gu Chengyuan screamed, holding the detonator high. I'll kill her. I'll kill everyone. Press it. Gu Chenze challenged, his voice a low growl. What? Press it. See if it works. Gu Chengyuan sneered and jammed his thumb down on the button. Nothing happened. Lin Zhixia had pressed the jammer in her pocket seconds earlier. The police are outside, Chengyuan, Lin Zhixia said, stepping toward her sister and ripping the tape off her mouth. The USB you just deleted? It was a decoy. The real files were uploaded to the cloud and sent to the bureau the moment we arrived. Blue and red lights began to pulse against the warehouse windows. The heavy thud of tactical boots surrounded the building. Gu Chengyuan looked at the tablet, then at the silent detonator, and finally at his brother. Desperation turned to madness. He pulled a concealed knife and lunged, not at Lin Zhixia, but at the blind man who had finally stepped out of the shadows. If I'm going down, you're coming with me. Lin Zhixia screamed, but Gu Chenze didn't flinch. As if he had seen the move 1,000 times, he stepped to the side, caught Chengyuan's wrist, and twisted. A sickening crack echoed through the hall. The knife clattered to the floor. Gu Chenze leaned in close to his brother's ear, his voice a lethal whisper. In our next life, try to be a better person, because in this one, I'm the one sending you to hell. He shoved Chengyuan toward the line of SWAT officers bursting through the doors. As the police swarmed the younger Gu brother, pinning him to the floor, the warehouse fell into a strange, heavy silence. Lin Zhixia untied her sister, sobbing as she held her. Gu Chenze stood in the center of the chaos, perfectly still. Lin Zhixia stood up and walked over to him. She didn't say anything, she simply took his hand. He squeezed it back, his shoulders finally dropping. Is it over? He asked softly. Lin Zhixia looked at the rising sun beginning to bleed through the rain clouds over the harbor, turning the gray world into gold. No, she said, her voice filled with a new kind of hope. The revenge is over. But for us, this is just the beginning. For the first time since she had returned to this life, Lin Zhixia felt the cold phantom pain of her death fade away, replaced by the warmth of a hand that would never let her go.